episode 13, Trev's Hockey Show, here on Trev TV. Kind of late to the punch on this one, and that is very much by design. I wanted to make sure all the important things were out of the way, i.e. the Karlsson trade, before I got down to my division predictions. Now this is my final prediction. I know I've already deleted 3 videos where I thought I was done with my predictions, but this is my final prediction video, or at least my final take on it, my final set-in-stone predictions. Meaning you won't see me deleting this one after something big happens or anything like that. This is it. It's set in stone. And like I said, I've gone over this not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4, but 5 times. I'm ready to make this my final prediction. So being I'm already representing the Western Conference, I'll start with their division, the Pacific. And this is the one I had a lot of trouble on, thanks to the Karlsson trade. I'm not going to go ahead and try and predict who's in the playoffs or whatever else. That'll be a different video. But I am going to try and predict the divisional rankings 1 through 8. And if I should happen to think a team is going to finish first overall, I'll mention it. If I happen to think a team's going to finish last overall, I'll mention it. But I've already said too much. Let's get started. Obviously, number 1 pick for the Pacific Division, and I think this became everybody's pick a week ago, the Sharks. I was originally thinking LA. But thanks to the dynamic adding Karlsson adds to the team, it's undeniable. They will make a lot of noise and probably even make a good playoff run. Cup run, who knows? Anything's possible, right? But they're definitely finishing first in the division. That is not going to change. Second in the division, and it almost pains me to say this, Edmonton. I know there are still a lot of skeptics, myself included, and I live in Edmonton, who are thinking, there's no way they can do any better than what they did last year, but I think they can. Granted, 2 years ago, it might have been a fluke, but it was also the coming out party for Connor McDavid, and I think this time around he's actually going to show how good of a team leader he can be and what kind of a play he can bounce back and forth together with line mates who are probably on the same page. Finally, I'm talking to you, Draisaitl. That's my number 2 pick. Number 3, I'm going to say Vegas. There's no way they can say that they're the expansion team anymore. They went above and beyond all expectations for everybody, myself included. And I don't think last year was a fluke. I think last year was definitely something that looked good when a team actually clicks. So that's why Vegas is finishing 3rd. 4, and this will probably be a wild card team. I'm not going to predict yes or no, but I think it might be a wild card team. That'll be LA. Adding Kovalchuk to the mix, it might not look like a lot on paper. Add Kovalchuk to the right line, Kopitar, and you got magic. Kovalchuk is not the player he used to be, obviously, but he's by no means a slouch. He's by no means past his prime. He might not have the same spring in his step that he used to, but he can still give you points, and that's what matters. So look for LA to be 4th in division and probably have a wild card. Number 5. And this is where my toss-ups began. Who was going to be the last 4 in the division, right? Number 5 is Calgary. Having James Neal is not a bad thing, because he is the real deal. James Neal, he'll tell you that himself. I don't know if that's enough. You still got Mike Smith, who is not the goalie he was in Arizona, and that was probably a fluke. But I just don't think it's enough. I think you need Gaudreau to step up his game a little more. You need Bennett to step up his game a lot more. Tkachuk is not a bad thing to have, but he needs to start making points instead of being the pest. Number 6, Arizona. And this might be the coming out of Alex Galchenyuk. Might be. But at the same time, he was in a very weak draft class, which is not known for its longevity. See Nail Yakupov. Arizona will be better. Playoff team? I don't think so. I really don't. I think they have at least one, maybe two more seasons before they're a solidified playoff team. But that's what I think. I'm not the expert. I'm just a predictor. Number 7. Anaheim. And it's not so much because they'll be missing Kessler. That I don't think is going to make any difference whatsoever. I think you have Getzlaf getting old. I think you have Perry getting old. Defense, questionable now. I mean, I don't think BX re-signed. I'm not actually quite certain he didn't re-sign. But beyond Bieksa, you got Lindholm, and then you got what? Gibson's questionable at best, and having Ryan Miller as a backup? No, I don't like their chances. Which could be a good thing for them come off season. You know, maybe it's time for their rebuild. Who knows? Last in the division, and I'm picking them to be 29th overall. They're not going to be Ottawa. They're not going to be Carolina, but they are going to be Vancouver. So that's number 8. Is Vancouver. They'll be missing the Sedins. A lot. On top of that, they'll be missing goal scoring. I mean, Besser can do wonders when he's on point. But other than that, you really got a bunch of prospects, guys who are coming out of the system, and guys who still haven't developed. And that could be a stumbling block, but it could be a learning stumbling block. I mean, they'll learn from it, but it'll leave a bad taste in their mouth for a couple more years. That was me predicting the Pacific Division for episode 13 of Trev's Hockey Show. Someday I'll get that right. But I want to thank you again for tuning in. Your viewership always means so much to me. I'm glad you're here. Thanks to everybody who's subbed. Thanks to everybody who likes my videos. Feel free to find me on Facebook at Trev's TV. Find me on Instagram at RockstarTrevTV. In the meantime, I got 3 more divisional videos to make. So be on the lookout for more videos from the Trev. Later.